so I want to start to show people of all walks of life and of all business types and all different nationalities and races and et cetera, and show you that there's not this one singular path to success, that there's not one single type of business, there's not one single type of way to do something, and that if you're a certain personality style, there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing broken. It's just that you're potentially on the wrong track and you need to get on a different track. And then things can be, it's not about, hey, just find the absolute easiest path on planet Earth in life to do and nothing should be difficult. No matter what path you're on, there will be difficulties, there will be hard times, things won't always be easy, it won't always be fun, but if you're on a track with other people that have 4-cylinder cars and you can make tweaks and you can do certain things and you can become a better driver, you can still beat those other cars, right? But you don't want to throw NOS on a 4-cylinder and try to keep up with the NASCARs. You're going to blow your car up. And if you don't have the right roll cage and all these things, you're going to die when your car crashes, right? Because you put NOS in a car that barely can get up to 100 miles an hour on a track with cars that got roll cages and all this protective gear. They're going 200, 300 miles an hour, and you're in a car with no roll cage that when you crash, your car blows up and you die. You do not want that. So get on the track that's right for you. So that's one of the things when we're sharing these graphs here that you're going to be able to see, right? This high yellow line is influence. So it's naturally more easy for me to do what I'm doing here than somebody who's my opposite. And one of the things that I forget, even myself with all that I know, is that we are all different. When I have somebody do something or help me with something that I'm not good at, inadvertently, I want to almost apologize for that. Like my friend Ash, who's helping me with everything, kind of acting like a project manager, et cetera, et cetera. The thing is that I go, God, she has to deal with all the details and all the organization and all this different kind of stuff, finding all these things. And I put that thing out about everybody doing research. It's like, she's sitting here going, poor Sap's got to sit and talk for 3 hours. Why would he want to do that? Why would somebody want to do that? Because that's my opposite. Like if I get an email from my production company and there's a phone number, I'm picking up the phone. My opposite's going, I'll do everything in my power to not get on the phone. You have to find what works for you. And that's one of the reasons I think I dug up and found Joe Rogan, because I wanted to find people. And that's where I want, through this format, to give you guys the opportunity to see lots of different people and stories and situations and circumstances and personalities and behaviors that will allow you to identify with different people and different situations and different stories, so that you really see the truth around there's no one way to do something. There's not per se a right way or a wrong way. There's a right and wrong way potentially in the sense for you, right? There's going to be things that are like the scenario I talked about with the NASCAR track. There's going to be that scenario where you're just on the wrong track. There's nothing wrong with you. And you got to watch who you get advice from as well, right? Like I've seen people who go to their parents for advice on business and they have jobs. I see people sometimes reading blogs of people who they don't even do that kind of work. And I've had to watch, because as I don't say shoot weddings anymore, well, I don't ever encourage someone to not do that if that's what they want to do. And so I have my dog groomer that we're going to have on in the future. I believe she has a waiting list. I think she took her phone number off. She essentially hard to get a hold of. I think she's by referral only now. And I want to talk about that because I think that there's a lot of professions, but YouTube and the internet has made people believe that there's just being a YouTuber, being a podcaster. And the thing is, you're on the wrong track. And so you give up and you never get momentum. I've had the success I've had in video production because, let me pull that up for you guys real quick. I've had the success I've had in video production. We've got Tony Robbins there. We've got Derek Halpern, Pat Flynn, Jonathan Fields, Good Life Project, Richard Branson, Lewis Howes. I don't have this picture. Doesn't have actually, he might be up here. I don't know where it's at, but Tim Ferriss. I mean, there's been so many people, James Altucher. There's been so many different people that I've had. But what I found is there's the stories of all these people as well. And these are all these thumbs up photos, I've had with people. All these people have inspiring stories. And what I've shared before, it's like my wife's aunt. This lady is, I think, 90. There's my wife hiding in the background. 90 years old. She still does like 80 push-ups a day. I think that's absolutely incredible. And so there's so much fun out there with people with their thumbs up, photos that I just love to see. And I want to see you guys, and I want to see your thumbs up photos. We've had people in MIA shirts. And so they have been everywhere. This is Ryan Stark up in, I was going to say outer space. But you can see he's got an MIA shirt. That's not Photoshopped. Let's go back and forth. There he is. So it's been really, really fun. So, I want to see you guys be able to take that inspired, imperfect action. I want you guys to be able to see that there's lots of ways to do things. And then as a byproduct, it's going to allow you a greater chance of success and happiness for yourself. Because when you start to just follow a few people, you start to just see, well, maybe this is the way I need to do it. Or even like when I shared Joe Rogan, if all you did was find him today and you never looked back, you'd think what was even going through my mind. Well, I need to have 3 cameras in this room and this table and this and that. And all of a sudden, now when you see that person like that today, 9 or 10 years in, and you forget where they came from, it prevents you from ever even starting. And that's the big thing. I want you guys to be inspired by the Geb Show. I want you to be energized by the Geb Show. But I want you to take action. I want you to be inspired and energized to take action. But when you're inspired and energized on something that's right for you, it's a lot easier to get through the difficult times. And that's what happened for me with video production. Is I was doing something that I loved, and I kept doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. And in weddings, for example, I shot my first wedding in 2005. I shot my last one in 2014. That's almost 10 years, I guess. Well, I ended up having people from a week ago, a month ago, a year ago, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7, 8 years prior saying, I was at such and such's wedding 8 years ago. 8 years. If you've done something 8 times in 8 weeks, it's hard to have people from 8 years ago refer to you.